Welcome back for another episode of Culinary Skills. Today we're going to cover the tomato in this segment. So we have one option we can do with a tomato is a simple diced tomato. Another option we could do is a tomato concassier, and a third option would be a slicing the tomato. So right here I'm going to show you a tomato concassier, which is a fancy version of a sliced or a diced tomato. We're going to take the core out, then we're going to cut across into the bottom. When my water boils, we're going to pop this in and we'll use that to blanch it so we can take the skin off. The second we're going to show you is a diced tomato, and the third is going to be a regular sliced tomato. And for the sliced tomato, I'm still going to take out core. Now, one trick, actually we're going to do the sliced tomato first. So you can take your knife, remember like I said in the last video, you want to hold the knife by the index finger and you want to grab it with your thumb. You're holding the knife like this and you're just using the handle for balance. We'll put the tomato on its side. So the core was here and we're going to cut it this way. All we're going to do is keep our fingers safe with our thumb tucked in, and we're going to slice the tomato. There, now we have a sliced tomato for hamburgers or sandwiches. What you can do from here is you could dice your tomato too, which this is method one of dicing the tomato. Slicing it first. Now what I did was I took the bottom slice out so it would be a little more stable. And this is the least preferred method for dicing a tomato, but it's probably the one you're most familiar with. The easiest way of dicing a tomato is to take the tomato whole and treat it like an onion. Leave the core in, put the tomato down, make a series of slices this way. Turn the tomato 90 degrees, so now you're going to cut the tomato this way, but never all the way through. The closer you go together, the finer the dice. Then set the tomato on its side, and you're just going to cut across it this way. You may have to roll the tomato around a bit to get all the sides. You'll be left with a piece of tomato about this big. Normally all I do is just run through it in a similar fashion to the way that I did the onions in the last video. We'll also take the bottom off of the first diced tomato. And that is one way to slice tomatoes and two methods on dicing a tomato. Our water is now boiled for our tomato concassier, which is just the fanciest version of a diced tomato. Basically, we're going to take the skin off, we're going to take the seeds out. As you can see, our water is rapidly boiling, so we're just going to drop the tomato in. We're going to give it 10-15 seconds. Okay, now that enough time has passed, what we'll do is we're going to take the tomato out of the water and we're going to put it in a bowl of ice water. It's not hot. All we were doing to the tomato was releasing the skin. The tomato is still raw at this point. It's just been lightly blanched. You can see how the skin comes right off in the water, but the tomato has not been cooked. This is the easiest way to peel tomatoes or grapes. Okay, now that the tomato has been blanched and peeled, you need to cut the tomato in half this way. So if it's standing up and this is the top, it's got to be cut in half like this. If you cut it in half the other way, you will not be able to access all of the seeds. So now that you have a cross section of the tomato like this, you can go in with your finger and you can pull out all the tomato seeds. This is going to give you a diced tomato that's going to be all tomato meat. You're not going to have any seeds in it. When would I use this? if I were gonna put diced tomato into a sauce. Like if I were gonna make maybe like a fancy gravy for a steak and I wanted tomato diced in it, this would be the tomato to use, the method. Would I waste this much effort on doing this for tacos? No. So now that the tomato is free of seed and skin, we can dice it up. And there you have it, how to slice tomatoes and 3 methods on dicing tomatoes.